Hey guys, with the Rugby World Cup 1 month away, I thought what better time than now to give you guys my final prediction for this 2023 Rugby World Cup. Before we do so, definitely click the like button guys below, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment below. Let me know who you think will win, as well as your surprise team. I want to know. Put in the comments below. But besides that, let's get straight into this. So as you can see here, we're using the Rugby World Cup 2023 predictor from the Telegraph. I'll leave a link in the description below for you guys to use yourself. But besides that, let's get right into this. So as you can see here, we'll start off with the pool stages. And we'll go off with Group A. We have the likes of, New Zealand, France, Italy, Uruguay, and Namibia. Again, look, I think it's pretty easy to say who's going to kind of be, the top two in this group, really. I mean, I'm really looking at, New Zealand and France in this position. I mean, both of them have been pretty incredible, I'd say, in the build-up to this Rugby World Cup. I mean, recently, obviously, the All Blacks did win the Rugby Championship with ease, to be perfectly honest. And, they won both games in Bledisloe recently. So, yeah, it just makes me feel very confident, I'd say, in terms of the All Blacks, what they will be able to achieve within this Rugby World Cup. And again, France, the host nation, I mean, this is a big Rugby World Cup for them. A lot is riding on the line. They've a very young, but also kind of experienced squad, really. It's kind of a mix of both, really. And I kind of like that because they're probably the best team, I'd say. They're a great team to watch, guys. They're probably one of the best teams in rugby to watch, in all honesty. And they have some. Yeah, they got some good players in there for sure. But I guess it comes down towards who I believe will come first and second, and then the rest kind of decides itself for this Group A. And in my opinion, I actually think the All Blacks could put a shock here, guys. I actually think they could beat France on their own turf in the opening game of this Rugby World Cup. Look, the only reason I'm going off this, by the way, guys, is that the All Blacks have been in sensational form recently. And to what I recall, the All Blacks have never lost their opening game of the Rugby World Cup. So that's also in the back of my mind as well. So, but you never know. Maybe France is the first team to do it. We'll have to wait and see. But look, I am going for the All Blacks here. I just have a lot more confidence in them, really. So I believe I'm going to put them in first in this group. Second to them will be France. Again, Italy, I just feel bad for them because they've had to be in New Zealand's group twice in a row now. And yeah, it's just Italy, they're actually improving steadily, actually. But it's going to be pretty tough to get a shock result against either France or New Zealand. So I just feel pretty bad for them. But at the end of the day, they'll come third, I believe. And then, it'll follow with Uruguay as well as Namibia. But that's kind of makes up my Group A there in terms of the pool stage. And on to the next one, which is really considered, I say, the group of death, in all honesty. I mean, as a bulk fan, this is going to be hectic to watch because I am going to the Rugby World Cup live, guys. So I'll be giving you guys my kind of a live match day experience of this. But, look, I mean, the box, you have Ireland, you have Scotland, Tonga, and Romania. I mean, what a group that is, by the way, guys. What a group. I mean, that's hectic. I mean, that's a really tough group. And look, I mean, it's not as easy, guys. This is really one of the most difficult groups to decide, really, because, I mean, yes, you could probably say, South Africa and Ireland are the favorites, but you can't really underestimate, Scotland or Tonga. I mean, again, Scotland did recently just beat, France in Scotland, a pretty impressive win, actually. They came back into the game. Again, you do have to remember that it was kind of France's kind of B teams at least, but still, it's pretty good effort from Scotland to kind of come back in that sense, and they even had a red card as well. So it just shows you that they are able to, they can pull off a shock when they can, really. And yeah, Scotland's known for that. But do I think they could do it in this group? I'm just not sure. I mean, look, South Africa's been. I'll be honest, guys. South Africa really hasn't been at their best, I'd say, really in the lead up to this Rugby World Cup. In the last, Rugby World Cup, I can even remember it. Really in that year before, South Africa was just in an upwards trajectory, really, with all their games. But this time, I really can't see that. I mean, South Africa really just kind of gone up and down, really, throughout this whole, warm-up period, you could say, towards this Rugby World Cup. And, I mean, you really can't say the same with Ireland because Ireland has been on the other scale, really, where they've been sensational, really. And, they won the Grand Slam. I mean, that's impressive. And, yeah, I mean, they're a really good side, of course. And they did obviously beat the All Blacks, last year. So it just kind of just leveled their status in terms of a contender for this Rugby World Cup. But I guess in terms of who I think will win, gosh, it's tough, guys, because you have to remember that both these sides, they're actually missing their 10 at the moment because, Handré Pollard isn't available for the box, as well as, Johnny Sexton. And yeah, I mean, they're gonna have to get, they're gonna be put straight into the limelight, really, into these Rugby World Cup games, and it's gonna be interesting to see who comes out on top, really. But I'm gonna go off I'm gonna go off the experience that South Africa is, they are the world champions, guys. They are the world champions. You got to give them respect. I think they can just edge it against Ireland. I know it's going to be a very tough game, but I just have a feeling South Africa could do it. So I'm going to say South Africa will top the group, then Ireland, then Scotland, then Tonga, then Romania. I just think I think that's the order that it has to be. And again, I would love it to see if Scotland could put an upset in here. You never know. Maybe they could pull it upset either against South Africa or Scotland, or either against Ireland. I mean, but I don't know. I just can't see it happening. But hey, I'd love to be surprised if I can. But I mean, even Tonga, it'll be great to see what Tonga can do, because they have a lot of ex international players in there. So it's gonna be very fascinating to see what they do in this kind of tournament, because the likes of Charles Piutau, Israel Folau, they got a ton of players in there. So yeah, it should be good to see what they can do. But I guess we'll move on then towards the Group C of this group stages. Again, we do have the likes of Wales, Australia, Fiji, Georgia, and Portugal, which is a pretty. It's kind of, we're now kind of on the easier side, you could say, of this draw. And yeah, I think it's pretty easy to say who's going to win this. I actually, this might come out as a surprise, by the way, guys, because they haven't been in really good form recently. But I'm actually hedging my bet towards the Aussies actually winning this group. And the reason why is just because I think because they played such high-level competition in the Rugby Championship, I think they're gonna it will kind of help them just ease through the group stages. I think that's what's going to really help them, in my opinion. And I think going off the last game they played with the Bledisloe, there's a lot of positives you can see from that game. Yes, they did lose it, of course, but it was a narrow scoreline. But at the end of the day, that first half really kind of showed that the Wallabies can kind of dictate a game of rugby and hold on to possession, pressure the opponents. So yeah, I think Eddie Jones will have kind of a few tricks up his sleeve, as he normally does when it comes towards these competitions. But I just think the Wallabies can do it. And again, you have to remember that Wales just haven't been in the best form recently, and it's just I think Australia really is going to top this. Look, I'll be surprised. I mean, again, it's pretty open, to be perfectly honest. So you never know. Maybe Fiji does it. That'd be crazy if Fiji did it. But I guess in terms of that second spot, this is where it gets a bit tricky, guys, because again, in my opinion, it really comes down towards Wales and Fiji in this position. And look, Wales actually just recently beat England. It was a pretty good win actually for them. They won that in a good sense. But again, Fiji has really developed, I'd say, throughout this year. With the Super Rugby, with the Fiji Dura, they've been pretty impressive, I'd say. Obviously, got into the playoffs for the first time as well. So it shows kind of progression from a club level as well. And on the international stage, obviously, they won, the Pacific Nations Cup. So they're in a really good, I guess, position against, going into this Rugby World Cup. And I don't know. I have a feeling this could be an upset. I actually think the Fijians could actually beat Wales. I know it's a big call, guys, but I'm actually going to go with Fiji that comes second, then Wales, then Georgia, then Portugal. I think, look, I know it's a tough call, guys, and maybe you guys, maybe I'm wrong here, but I just have a feeling, Fiji, I think they can pull an upset here and beat the Welsh. They have done it in the past, obviously, in Rugby World Cup games. So I have a funny feeling it could happen again, but we'll wait and see. But that's my decision there for Group C. I guess in terms of Group D, look, this is probably the most. Is it the most open one? You know what? I actually would say this is the most open group out of all the groups. And I'm not saying it's the toughest group. I'm just saying it's the most open one out of the bunch, because you have the likes of England, Japan, Argentina, and Samoa, as well as Chile. It'll be good to see what Chile can do in this one, because they have a good set of players in there. But again, I don't expect them to do as much, you could say, compared towards the rest of these four sides in the group. But yeah, I mean, England just haven't been in the best form, guys, and it's crazy because when you look back at my previous prediction I did, 2 years ago when the kind of the groups were announced, I actually predicted England to win, which is, I know it's pretty crazy to think, but back then they were in a pretty good place. But that's definitely not what's happening here, guys. I'm definitely not picking them. I'll just give you a spoiler. They're definitely not going to be my prediction. Definitely not my winner for sure. But I guess, look, no matter what, I think England will progress through, guys. But the question is, will they come first or second? I just don't know. And again, you have likes of Japan, Argentina, Samoa. I mean, Japan haven't been in the best of form recently. I mean, you have Argentina who's got a pretty good result, I guess, against the the Wallabies in this Rugby Championship. And obviously last year they had a pretty incredible run. Even beat England in Twickenham as well as the All Blacks in New Zealand. So they had some impressive victories. And I don't know, I have a funny feeling that Argentinians could do it. You know what? I'm actually going to go with Argentina as first and England second. It's a big call, but you know what? I'm doing it. Argentina first, England second. And you know what? There's another shock, guys. I think Samoa will beat Japan. I think Samoa will beat Japan and claim the third spot in this group. Japan will come fourth and Chile will come last. And the reason for that is because Japan they haven't won any game within 2023. Their form even last year was not in the best, really. They lost their, I believe their July series, 3-0 really to France. And it was like France's B team. But still, I mean, it's not good for Japanese rugby. And again, I guess you can think of it as where Japan really kind of built all of their kind of investment, you could say, was really for their Rugby World Cup. So the next one really, I don't know, just for this one, I don't expect them to do as well. And to be perfectly honest, Samoa have been in pretty good form recently. They just beat Tonga. They look like a heck of a side. They have some big players in there. They got Stephen Luatua. They got some good players, guys. And they got even like Mirko Vaangi, who I really like, by the way. He's a once-watch player. But I think Samoa could do it. I think they could pull an upset here. But anyway, that's my prediction there for the pool stages. On to the quarterfinals. Oh, this is tricky, guys. This is very tricky. But oh my gosh, I'm looking at everything now for the first time. This is insane. But we have Australia, England, South Africa, France, Argentina, Fiji, New Zealand, Ireland. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. But look, we'll start off with the first one, which is the Wallabies versus England. Oh my gosh, who actually wins that? Because that'll be a great matchup, by the way, to start off with, because Eddie Jones against England. Oh my gosh, he would love that to get revenge on them for obviously sacking him back in what was it, last November. But that would be a great game. That would be a great game. Dude, could the Wallabies win that? Ooh, I don't know. The thing is that both these sides really aren't in the best form, so it's actually pretty hard to say who actually win that. I mean, England, you can never really underestimate them as well, by the way, guys, because there's some clutch players in there, really, with Marcus Smith. They got Freddie Stewart, great player. They got Joe Martin there, ex-Blue. I gotta mention, he played for the Blues. Come on, you guys know me. I gotta mention, an English player if they play for the Blues. It's just I had to. And they have Mario Toje as well. I mean, they got some good players in there, England. But then the Wallabies just have, I don't know, they have this gravitational pull to me that it's telling me like they're gonna make it. They're gonna make it, and you know what? I'm gonna do it, guys. I'll be honest. I actually was thinking England could win this originally, and I was gonna put them in the semis. But I'm actually now thinking the Wallabies could do it. You know what? I'm actually gonna do it. I'm gonna put the Wallabies there. Oh my gosh, I've actually done it. I've done the Wallabies. So the Wallabies are through. They're the first team to go through to the semis. The second one is South Africa versus France. Arguably the toughest one, I'd say, out of this whole bunch in terms of the two teams. Oh, this is tough. As a Bok fan, guys, this is pretty tough. Do I think the Boks can beat the French? See, this is the thing, is that it really comes down, for me, guys, I actually think it really comes down towards the French. Because if the French don't crack under pressure, they have home advantage, by the way, guys. You don't know how important it is when it comes towards playing rugby, guys. Home advantage means everything. And I think the French could do it. I really do think the French could do it. God, they have such good players. This is the thing that scares me. It's like, yeah, when they have their best side on, it's going to be pretty tough to stop them. But then South Africa. Oh, but South Africa, though. I mean, how can I not put South Africa in? You know what? I'm just going to make the final call. I'm putting the French in. I'm putting the French. I hate it. I hate what I'm doing here, guys. As a Bok fan, I know if any Bok fans are watching this, you're going to probably crucify me, but I just feel they're the one team that could beat the Boks. I just feel like they're the one team that could do it. But, that's hard to do. Oh, I hated that. Hated that. Anyway, we're gonna move on quickly because I can't if I think more about that I may switch it. But no, we'll go then towards Argentina Fiji, which is kind of a cool match to watch actually. That would be cool. I actually like watching that game if I had the opportunity to. But yeah, look, I mean Argentina versus Fiji. They play really two different styles of rugby here, so it would be pretty fascinating to see how this game would go. But I'd probably hedge my bet towards Argentina just because I think they have a lot more depth in terms of their side. At the end of the day, I just think they're a better team in terms of the set pieces as well. So I'm actually going to hedge my bet towards Argentina here. And yeah, New Zealand, oh gosh, New Zealand, Ireland. This is a tough one because again, Ireland, you can't underestimate them guys because, they beat the All Blacks in New Zealand last year. So yeah, they were just, that was probably the most impressive thing I've seen in a while in rugby. I mean, that was even more impressive than I think the Lions tour back in, 2017 when they drew that. I was just lost for words when that happened. But I was even more lost for words when they actually beat New Zealand in New Zealand. But can they do it again? That's the question. And the thing is that New Zealand are a better team now than they were, a year ago. And they'll want revenge. They will want revenge as well. And I think they'll do it. I think they'll get the revenge. I'm going to go with the All Blacks. So there you go. The semifinals are there. Australia versus France. Argentina versus New Zealand. Yeesh. Well, you know what? We'll actually go on this side first because I think that's the more difficult one to decide. We'll go with the All Blacks versus Argentina. Look, I'm going to make this very simple, guys. I am going to say the All Blacks will do it, but I want to give a bit more explanation of why I think that. Look, the All Blacks, I just think that they're a different beast when it comes towards this tournament, and the depth they had in their squad, they can rotate players in and out, and a lot of their players are very versatile as well. I mean, they have Bowden Barrett. They can put in Will Jordan there, who can shift positions if they need to. They got Mwanga, they got McKenzie. I mean, they've got a ton of great players, guys. And even in the forward pack, they have the likes of Scott Barrett, who's been probably having the best year of his life, really. And if the All Blacks win this, I wouldn't be surprised if he's named Player of the Year. He's been that good this year, guys. He's been really good. But yeah, I just think it'll be tough for Argentina because again. Look, I'd love it if Argentina won this, by the way, guys. Now, I'd probably be cheering for Argentina, in all honesty, in this game. But yeah, I just think I think the All Blacks would just be too strong in this situation. So I got to go for the All Blacks there. But yeah, in terms of the semifinals, gosh, this is the big one. In terms of Australia versus France, this is really the decider for me. In terms of this is the toughest one. Gosh, because the Wallabies, you would love to say that they would do this, but then the French are just. They're just the French. They're just too good. They're really just too good. Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to go with the French. I'm not going to go more into it. I'm saying the French will do it. So there you go. That's the final. This is the final I've gone with. France versus New Zealand. The exact two that we'll see, obviously, in the opening game of this Rugby World Cup is what I'm saying will be the final of this Rugby World Cup as well. Gosh. So I did say the All Blacks would beat the French in the opening game. But for this one, I'm actually going to go with... who do I go with here? Who do I go with? Yeah, you know what? I'm going France. I think they'll just... I think they'll be more motivated to beat the All Blacks within this game as well. And they'll understand the importance of this as well. And... yeah, they just got a heck of a team, guys. They got a heck of a team. Look, at the end of the day, I think both these sides can win the Rugby World Cup. I think they're probably the two favorites, in my opinion, overall. But, yeah, it's interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see who does this. But, yeah, that's my final prediction, guys, for this Rugby World Cup. France is my predicted winner. We'll see if I'm right. And I'll probably say, if I had to go back towards the surprise team that I'm saying, yeah, you got to probably say Argentina and Australia are probably the two big surprises. But in terms of the quarterfinals, I think the two big surprises, it's probably Fiji, probably the biggest one. So Fiji is the big surprise for me, really, in terms of the quarterfinals. And then, yeah, in terms of the semis, you got to say Australia and Argentina. But then, yeah, no, I'm saying France obviously become victorious at the end of the day. But anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely like the video, guys. Subscribe to our channel. And, guys, comment below. I want to see your comments. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think I'm right, or do you think there's someone else will win? And let me know also your surprise team as well for this tournament. But besides that, guys, I'll see you guys next time.
Hey, feel I'm in the mood for a switch up. I hit the function, hit the rose till I hiccup. I hit the stage and leave with money that's a stick up. She picture perfect, so I told him I'm a flick up. I'm in the mood for